Interior Affairs Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i and Education Principal Secretary Dr. Belio Kipsang have escaped censure over the controversial Ruaraka land compensation. The Senate shot down a report recommending investigations and prosecution of Matiang'i, Kipsang and top National Land Commission officials over the 1.5 billion shilling compensation to Francis Mburu. But as Francis Gachuri reports, ODM senators have termed today's Senate verdict a triumph for corruption.
All eyes were on the Senate as it convened to determine the fate of a probe report on the controversial Ruaraka land compensation.
Therefore, pursuant to Article 124 of the Constitution and Standing Order 78(2)(c, the question is lost.
15 senators voting in support of the report that had recommended further investigations and prosecution of Interior Affairs Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i, who at the time of the 1.5 billion shillings compensation paid out to Francis Mburu, headed the education docket. The ministry's principal secretary Dr. Belio Kipsang, National Land Commission Chairman Muhammad Swazuri, his deputy Abigail Mbagaya, Commissioner Tom Konyimbi and Chief Executive Officer Tom Chavangi were also recommended for prosecution by the Senate Public Accounts Committee chaired by Moses Kajwang, though only 4 senators, Kipchumba Murkomen, Gideon Moi, Susan Keheka and Samson Cherargei opposed the report. The 15 senators who voted in support were not enough, since a minimum of 24 votes were required for the House to adopt the committee's findings.
Tumeshindwa, lakini vita yenyewe hatujashindwa. Na najua ya kwamba tukiendelea kuongea juu ya mambo haya, zile shirika za serikali ambao zinahusika zitachukua hatua, na wakikosa kuchukua hatua, bado sisi hata kama ni kamati ama ni wanasiasa wachache, bado tunaweza kuwafuatilia tu.
Intense lobbying had preceded today's sitting, with some senators strategically staying away to save Matiang'i and Kipsang.
What we want is accountability, and there's no point of us cherry picking. Mr. President, you've lost the war on corruption because your Jubilee party has failed you. The list here is very clear. None of your members showed up today to support you. You're on your own.
The report had recommended recovery of the 1.5 billion shillings paid out to Mburu by the Ministry of Education through the National Land Commission. The money was quickly moved from the bank account of Whispering Palms and distributed to various companies and individuals, raising suspicion. The Senate committee had also recommended Mburu's prosecution and recovery of any taxes owed to Kenya Revenue Authority. The businessman threatening to sue Nairobi County government for allegedly allocating up to 800 plots, amounting to 47 acres, from the 96-acre parcel of land he claims to own.
Believe me, I'm coming out with 25 billion shillings. Of course, if they want me to refund 1.5 billion shillings, from 25 billion shillings from the governor, I will.
The Senate committee found Mburu guilty of seeking compensation for the 13-acre parcel of land where drive-in primary and Ruaraka secondary schools are built, yet the government had acquired it through compulsory surrender.
Now, I'm told I surrendered 13.5. I cancelled that surrender long time. I cancelled the subdivision long time. Why I did it? Because they wanted to grab that land.
With the Senate route flopping due to the alleged intense behind-the-scenes machinations, attention shifts to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC that had already probed the compensation saga and handed its report to Director of Public Prosecutions, Nuruddin Haji, for action. Francis Gachuri, Citizen TV.